Hello everybody and welcome back to EE episode 34. What better way to start off this episode with a group hug? You were not expecting me to click that fast, but I did. Quick recap, we're bowling, some mean girls who didn't have sprites, they were just background characters, insulted Kosei, Mina stood up for them, and now I suggest we do a group hug, so let's get right into episode 34. I want to feel the love too. I wrap my arms around the two of them. Aw, I love you guys.
Cuz, what are you doing?
I love you too, man.
Kosei!
What? He's my best bro. Bros need love too.
Major respect for that one. Mina wriggles free from the hug.
Okay, I think it's time to keep going before this turns into something more than we can handle.
Yeah, you're right.
Kosei pulls away, but not before giving me one last squeeze.
Now you can try my technique again.
Yeah, after that whole debacle, I'll leave the Mina method to Mina.
We laugh, releasing any remaining tension. Wow, had I not gone, with that, oh, let's end the episode early, we would have just had this quick transition, but who would have thought? After a few rounds, it starts to get late, so we end for the night. Mina and Erlen both tied for first, much to Kosei's dismay. We return the shoes and then say our goodbyes to our friends. Afterwards, Erlen, Mina, and I begin the walk home. I guess it would have been completely done. This is a nice looking artwork. I like it at night. It's been a fun but long night, and I'm feeling exhausted. Without the sun to warm the air, I shiver from the chill breeze biting my skin.
That was so much fun!
Are you talking about bowling or almost making those girls cry?
What? They weren't going to cry.
I don't know. You got pretty fired up back there.
Well, maybe now they'll think twice before insulting people.
They'll probably think 3 times before doing it. You were really fierce.
I think it's sweet that Mina came to defend her boyfriend's honor.
That's not why I did it. I do the same for any of you.
That's okay. I don't need to be called a sweaty chicken. Even in the dark, I can see the blush crawling up Mina's face.
Okay, maybe that wasn't my finest moment.
Erlen and I giggle.
Well, your delivery was certainly unconventional. We could all see how much you cared. I'm sure Kosei appreciated that.
Thanks, Erlen.
Soon we reach the house. After taking off my shoes, I stifle a yawn. I'm pretty tired, so I'm going to call it a night.
Me too. Good night.
Good night.
We head upstairs and then disperse into our respective rooms. I finish up what little homework I have left and then prepare for bed. This has been a really fun night. It's been a while since the whole gang hung out and had a chance to let loose, and I can't wait until we do it again. If we do it again, am I right? Alright, a soft sigh escapes me as I slide beneath the covers, and it's not long before I'm fast asleep. I have a sneaking suspicion. I feel like I keep saying this every single episode, like, oh, the end's coming, I promise. But I feel like with that last line of dialogue, maybe it was, like, oh, can't wait to hang out with my friends again. I'm sure Erlen's not gonna, suddenly warp back home or anything. I feel like that's coming. I don't know, I just have a hunch. Anyway, next day, I wake up with a wide yawn. Blinking my eyes open, I check the time and grimace. I need to get moving before I'm late. Transition. Leaping out of bed, I quickly change and get ready for school. I grab my stuff and race downstairs to grab some toast. As expected, both Mina and Erlen have already left. I don't have time to sit down and eat, so I stuff the bread in my mouth. I slide my bag onto my shoulder and head out of the door. I barely feel the crisp morning air as I race towards school. When I reach the courtyard, there are a few lingering students outside. That means I've still got time. After entering the building, I reach my classroom and find my seat with my friends. A moment later, the bell rings. Woo! Made it. Miss Sato takes her place in front of the room.
Good morning, class. Let's get started.
I focus on what we're learning, and soon the school day flies by. By the time all of our classes are over, I am ready to do something fun. Luckily, I have a club meeting today. Yeah, I mentioned that last episode, like, did we just, like, not go to our club anymore? Maybe we only meet once a month, who knows. After packing up all my stuff, I say goodbye to my friends and head to the club room. And a little Rika action this episode. Ooh, on the way, I run into Daisuke. Oh, hey Daisuke.
Hey, you were just the guy I was hoping to see.
Alright. Kind of, suspicious. Oh, really? What's up?
I've got some news to share with you and Erlen.
That piques my interest. You had your breakthrough?
Yeah, but it would be better to tell you both together. I'm heading to the student council now. Are you free later?
Yeah, I'm free after my club meeting.
Great. Let's meet in the courtyard afterwards.
Sounds good. He nods, then waves goodbye.
I'll see you later then.
Bye. I still don't trust the guy. As Daisuke heads off, I continue down the hall towards the club room. My curiosity is burning, but I try not to think about what Daisuke might tell us. I'll find out soon enough. Right now, I should be focused on my club activities. Transition. Soon I arrive and greet my fellow club members. When I arrived, the first thing I noticed are the piles of papers collected on the tables. Upon closer inspection, I recognized that they're detention slips. What's going on? Rika turns around and grins.
This, my friend, will be our biggest victory yet.
Detention slips?
Not just any detention slips. Detention slips from Mr. Ueno.
Peering closely at the notes, I realize that she's right and that most of these notes were written for her. He sure gave you a lot of detention.
I know, unfairly so. He's always had a vendetta against me, and I don't know why. So it's time that we called him out on his unfair treatment.
Are you sure that's a good idea? He's a teacher, which means if you anger him, he could actually do something drastic, like expel you.
That's something I don't have to worry about.
Why not? She sighs, her smile turning sad.
Because this will be my last meeting with the Good Samaritan Club. And this school.
Alright, we're definitely getting close to the end. And it's like, okay, everyone's leaving, everyone's wrapping up. I can just feel it in my loins right now. We are 1, maybe 2 episodes away. What? Why?
My family and I are moving.
You can't leave. Stand up and salute. What will happen to the club? We can't have Rika leaving. You know, she's our friend, and it's not like she's attractive or anything. No, you can't leave. We'll make sure justice is served, if not you. Her smile softens, and she ruffles my hair. Oh my gosh, I need a girl to ruffle my hair. Please, tomboys out there, come ruffle my hair.
You all will. As long as we have good Samaritans, justice will always be served. So, if I must leave, then this will be the ultimate lesson in justice of all.
She gestures to all of the detention slips. How did you get so many? Are they all yours?
Nope. It turns out Mr. Ueno loves assigning detention for every little thing, and people are sick of it. Our fellow students have happily agreed to help out with our little prank.
What are we going to do with them?
We're going to stick them on Mr. Ueno's car and expose him as the unjust teacher he is.
Rika raises her fist, eliciting cheers from the rest of the club members.
So, let's get to work.
Transition. We each collect as many piles as we can and then sneak out to the parking lot. Rika points out Mr. Ueno's car and we begin sticking. We stick as many slips as we can until every inch is covered. Wow, that's a lot of detention. Afterwards, we return to the school as if nothing had happened. It isn't long before rumors spread about the covered car. A few minutes later, we spot Mr. Ueno racing down the hall, and we scramble after him. A small crowd has already gathered as students giggle and whisper about the car.
My car!
Wow, look at his car. I can only imagine what it looks like. Imagine there's a car right here. Oh my gosh, that car is covered in so much. Mr. Ueno whirls on the crowd, pointing an accusing finger. His face is boiling red.
Who's responsible for this?
Everyone quiets down, avoiding eye contact with the teacher.
Was it you?
He points to a random student who furiously shakes his head.
You?
No!
Oh, student 4.
It was me.
Rika steps out from the crowd and plants her feet, putting her hands on her hips.
Miss Raiden, I should have known.
Scowling, he clicks open a pen and whips out his trusty detention cards. Then he writes her a large slip and shoves it into Rika's hands.
I'm sure you know the drill by now.
Rika glances at the slip and then curls into a sly grin. Keeping eye contact with Mr. Ueno, she slaps the slip onto his car.
Miss Raiden!
With a laugh, she races away amidst the cheers and laughter of her peers, while Mr. Ueno scrambles after her. Between the laughter, I hear a few students talking.
This is hilarious! Mr. Ueno totally deserves it. You know he gave me detention once because I was chewing gum in class.
Seriously?
Yeah, he didn't even ask me to spit it out. Just straight up gave me detention.
Not epic.
That's such BS.
I know. So thank goodness for Rika and the Good Samaritan Club. They're so freaking awesome.
My chest swells with pride. Our club is freaking awesome and it's nice to be recognized. If only Rika was here to hear it. I bet she'd be thrilled to know what her club means to everyone. That was a nice way to send her off. Soon the other teachers come out and break up the crowd. Since Rika is occupied, our club is dismissed for the day, so I wave goodbye to my friends. Goodbye, Rika. One thing is for sure, Rika's legacy will live on even after she transfers. Well, I guess Rika's out of the running for girl we end up with in Best Girl, so unfortunately, we're gonna move on, but you will be missed. I leave the club room and make my way into the courtyard. My chest is tense in anticipation of the news. I wonder what kind of breakthrough he could have had. Did he meet another Veldin? Oh, the serious music is playing. That means it's serious. The courtyard is empty now. That school is over, and I easily spot both Erlen and Daisuke waiting. They greet me when I arrive. Hey guys, hope you weren't waiting long. Erlen shakes her head.
Our meeting had just ended.
Did Daisuke give you any hints on what he wanted to share?
No, he stubbornly refused to share anything other than stating he had good news. He said we had to wait for you.
Daisuke grins as he turns to me.
Since you've been involved in this whole situation from the start, I thought it'd only be fair for you to be involved in this conversation as well. And now that everyone's here, I don't know the best way to say it, so I'm just going to be blunt. Erlen, I can now take you home whenever you're ready.
Well, I guess we are at the endgame. There's a moment of stunned silence as we both digest his words. Erlen seems hopeful but confused. My goodness.
You can take me home? But how? Did you learn a new method of returning?
Not quite.
Her brows crease.
Then how can you take me back?
I'd arrange a portal for you.
Suddenly, Erlen crosses her arms, her frown deepening.
Don't toy with me. We both know it's not that simple. If it were, either of us could have left at any time.
I glance back and forth. What's going on? Why is Daisuke being so evasive? He hesitates.
I'm sorry. I haven't been entirely honest with you about who I am.
This is starting to feel familiar.
I am Neil Lavin of the 2nd Royal Guard of Honor. It is an honor to serve you, Your Highness.
He salutes Erlen, who stares at him in surprise. Okay, I'm a bit lost. What is this exactly?
I work for the branch of the military that is duty-bound to serve and protect the royal family.
Oh wow, that sounds like a big deal.
It is. Only the trusted few are ever selected into the Royal Guard.
Erlen raises a brow.
You've already lied about who you are once before. How can I believe that you aren't lying to us again?
I carry the insignia of the 2nd Royal Guard of Honor.
He reaches to show Erlen the insignia. After viewing, she nods, relaxing slightly.
Only those in the Guard have access to the insignia, so it seems you're telling the truth. However, the 2nd Royal Guard of Honor, that would mean you work for my aunt.
That is correct.
Then what are you doing here?
I was sent here to provide you protection and ensure your safety while you completed the mission.
Erlen's brows furrow.
What mission? Did my aunt send me here on a mission?
He nods.
Why? What possible reason could she have to do that?
He pauses.
I was only told what I needed to know to carry out my mission. It would be best for you to ask her yourself.
Yes, well, she'll certainly have a lot of explaining to do.
This whole thing is crazy. Dude, how are you? This whole thing is shady. I do have all these questions. All these questions come to mind. This is crazy. But, you know, we need to know his age. This is vital information. This entire situation has been one roller coaster ride after another. There's a pressing question on my mind. So, if you're some kind of trained guard just pretending to be a student, then just how old are you? He laughs.
I'm only a few years older than you. That's actually the reason I was selected for this mission. They needed someone who could remain close to Erlen outside of the home. And as the youngest in the 2nd Royal Guard of Honor, I fit the best.
Wait, outside of the home? Does that mean there's someone inside of the home?
Yes, I wasn't the only one tasked with protecting the princess.
That's no surprise. Of course my aunt would send even more people to watch over me. After all, I am the heir to the throne. If something happened to me while I was here, it would be her head on the line.
Who else? Okay, take a guess in the comments below. I'm gonna guess the dog, Denna.
There was a reason why she was sent here to Matsukaze. It's because Emiko Meino lives here.
What? I blink, then laugh. What? Aunt Emiko is Velden? No, that doesn't make sense. She can't be. Can she?
All I know is that she is a part of this operation.
This seems weird. I don't know, I didn't expect the plot to be this deep. I just expected, you know, cute girls, but here we are. Let's continue on. I fall silent, my mind rolling with questions. How is it possible that Aunt Emiko is connected to Velden? And what is she doing in Matsukaze? Maybe she's just a human diplomat or something. All of this is unclear. Erlen puts a gentle hand on my shoulder. I'm surprised how well she's taking this.
I'm sure Aunt Emiko will explain everything once we're home.
Yeah.
I know this was a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry that I had to keep the truth from you, but now that we can escort you home, it was time you learned the truth.
And when will we be returning?
Your aunt would prefer you to return as soon as possible.
Well, I'll need a couple of days to wrap things up and say goodbye. After all of the support and kindness I've been shown, I can't just disappear without saying anything. If my aunt has a problem with that, then she can take it up with me herself.
I wonder what would have happened if we chose Erlen in that scenario. If, you know, do we go there to live with her, or does she stay here with us? I wonder what would happen. Who knows? Maybe I'll go through and play that if you want to see that. But, you know, let's continue on with the story. He nods.
Yes, Your Highness.
He glances at us, then smiles softly.
I won't keep you two any longer. I'm sure you have a lot to talk about.
He says his goodbye and then leaves. For a moment, Erlen and I are quiet, still processing everything that was said. Are you okay? Like, Daisuke, or Nile, or whatever his name is, said this is a lot of information, and I don't know how much he said is true.
I trust that he's telling the truth. As hard as it is to believe, it would be impossible to acquire the Velden Royal Guard insignia if he was not a part of it. Since he mentioned Aunt Emiko, we should ask her if she knows more.
Yeah, let's head back. Aunt Emiko can probably add more context if she's really involved. Erlen nods in agreement, and we cut across the courtyard to exit the school gates. We remain quiet as we walk, each of us still processing what we've learned. Erlen seems convinced that Daisuke is telling the truth, but how can I believe that Aunt Emiko is Velden? It seems so far-fetched. I shake the thoughts from my head. I guess we'll find out soon enough. As the house nears into view, I wonder if Aunt and Uncle will be home. They're usually still at the bakery at this time. Finally, we arrive home. The serious music is playing. After entering the house, I see Mina hanging out in the living room. Hey.
Oh, hey.
Are Aunt Amiko and Uncle Hajime home?
Mom's in the kitchen, but Dad's still at the bakery.
How convenient for the plot. I glance at Erlen, who looks back at me. Mina glances between the two of us, her brows furrowing.
Why?
I glance at Erlen again. Should we tell her?
Why do you keep looking at each other? What's going on?
Before I can respond, Aunt Amiko pops her head into the room and graces us with a warm smile.
I thought I heard voices in here. I made you all a snack if you're hungry. Did you kids have a good day at school?
Drop the act, bitch. Tell us what's... Oh, sorry. That was kind of rude. Let Erlen take the lead. This is no time for small talk. Ease it into the conversation. You know, sometimes you just gotta shove it in, and you can't just ease things in. But we're gonna let Erlen just peg us for the sake of the plot. Although Aunt Amiko is my family, all of this Velden stuff affects Erlen more directly than it affects me. I'll let her take the lead on this. Erlen nods.
Yes, although we learned some very interesting news today, which we'd like to discuss further with you.
Aunt Amiko's brows furrow in confusion, but her smile remains.
Well, of course, dear. You can talk to me about anything.
How about the fact that you're actually Velden? Aunt Amiko acts surprised.
Velden? What's that?
Mina burst out laughing.
What? That's crazy! Did you hit your head or something, cuz?
I shake my head. It's okay, Aunt Amiko. You don't have to pretend anymore. Niall told us all about you.
Nil? Ah, I see. So it has been revealed.
Oh, apparently it's Nil and not Niall. I just like to add E's to everything. That's okay. Aunt Amiko, and you know, I call her Amiko instead of Emiko, but you know, it's been like 30 something episodes, so we're still going for it. Aunt Amiko smiles softly when Mina looks on. While Mina looks on blankly, my goodness.
Wait, you know what they're talking about? What's going on?
They're telling the truth, honey. I am from Velden.
No.
Mina pauses, waiting for the punchline. When it doesn't come, her brows wrinkle together.
Wait, you're serious?
Aunt Amiko nods. She gestures for all of us to sit down.
I didn't expect to have this conversation now, but I suppose there's no better time than the present.
Mina scoots over to give her mom space on the couch, and Erlen and I settle on the nearby chairs.
I assume this means that you'll be leaving us soon then, Erlen?
That seems to be the case, although I'm still unclear as to why I was sent here in the first place.
Aunt Amiko chuckles.
Ida will explain everything. Don't worry.
Who's Ida?
My aunt.
Whoa, you're on a first-name basis with Erlen's aunt?
Wait, hold on.
I'm with Mina on this one. There's a lot happening right now. Mina, who had been strangely quiet, suddenly shoots up from the couch.
Erlen, you're leaving?
Yes.
How? When? And what does my mom or your aunt have to do with anything?
That's right. Mina wasn't around to hear Daisuke's explanation. Or she's confused, and we just threw a lot of information at her at once. Well, Erlen and I catch Mina up to speed on what we discovered. As we talk, she flows through a range of emotions, from surprise at Daisuke's actual real identity, to frustration that he lied yet again, and disappointment regarding Erlen's close departure date. And I guess the fact that her mom's also Velden, they should probably throw that in there. Also, why was Erlen sent here? Is it just a convenient plot device for her to be a love interest? Or like, what was the actual reason the princess was sent to this place, you know? I want answers. I need answers, but we're gonna keep on trucking. When we're done, she slumps back into the couch, slowly shaking her head.
This whole thing is crazy, and it's all happening so fast.
I know.
And Mom, you're a part of all this craziness.
She nods.
Ida asked me to look after Erlen as a favor, and I was happy to do so.
Did she tell you why, though? I feel like that'd be important to know.
I certainly wish I knew. Although I'm sure my aunt will tell me it was just for my own good.
Wasn't it? After all, I've watched how you've matured into a fine young lady with your short time with us. Don't you feel like you're now a little more prepared in your role as heir apparent?
Erlen blinks. He pauses, mulling over Aunt Miko's words.
I can't deny that there is truth to that statement. However, if maturity was the goal, could I not have achieved that same goal in Velden? Why did she have to send me here without any preparation or warning?
Facts, facts. Aunt Miko laughs.
You know as well as I do that Ida's methods have always been unique, but effective. Everything was always sink or swim with her.
Yes, but that doesn't make it right.
It's clear that while Erlen reluctantly agrees, she's not happy with the situation. I'm sure when she goes back, she'll have some choice words to share with her aunt. Grant seems overly harsh. I get it, it's all or nothing. It's all speculation anyway. They do be speculation though. We don't actually know why Erlen was sent here. Aunt Miko is just guessing.
Yeah, but you can still have an opinion on if it's right or not. I think it's a bit harsh to send someone to literally another world no matter the reason.
Thank you, Mina.
Especially if she could have learned the same thing while still in Velden.
I assume Ida knew that Erlen would still get preferential treatment in Velden where the people all knew who she was.
Aunt Miko makes a good point. After thinking it over, both Mina and Erlen reluctantly agree.
Wow, Mom, it sounds like you know Erlen's aunt super well.
Oh yes, that's what happens when you do your service together. She was so impulsive, and it always got her into trouble. It seems like she hasn't changed a bit.
Aunt Miko melts into a nostalgic smile, her eyes sparkling in memory.
Service? What? Like the military?
That's right, honey.
Well, Aunt Miko is a military personnel. Alright, we are getting a lot of plot development here. Mina's eyes grow so wide, I'm afraid they'll pop out of her head.
No way! Did you ever have to fight someone?
I killed a man.
Sometimes, but only when there was no other option.
I gutted him like a fish, and I'll do it again. Yup.
Did you ever have to fight a bear?
12. She wasn't in survival training.
No, honey. Nothing quite so overtly dangerous. I was in reconnaissance.
Ooh, like a spy.
More like intelligence gathering.
That's kind of like a spy.
If you were in reconnaissance, then how did you meet my aunt? I know that was not a part of her service.
Ida and I were bunkmates during basic training, and remained close even after our paths diverged. I wanted to see what more was out there beyond Velden. It just happened that my longest tour was spent here on Earth.
Is that why you stayed?
Not exactly.
He giggles.
I found it quite mundane here. Velden technology is more advanced in many different ways.
That definitely tracks with Erlen's first impression of Earth. Aunt Miko breathes out a dreamy sigh.
But the longer I stayed, the more I could see the beauty in simplicity. And then I met Hajime. At first, I didn't understand him at all. I thought he was so short-sighted. There was this great big universe just waiting to be explored, and all he wanted to do was stay in the small town that he grew up in with the family that he loved and bake.
He do be baking. He barks a short laugh.
I never thought I'd fall for someone like him, but somehow that gentle man with the kind eyes and flower always in his hair completely swept me off my feet.
Quick side question. So if she came from Velden, and then, she's living here, shouldn't she, require a social security number and have, like, records and whatnot, You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise she's just kind of undocumented. And I'm just thinking about the logistics, the tax repercussions. But, maybe that's just my mind going too wide. But let's keep going. We're almost done.
And the more I fell for him, the more I realized that his dream was perfect.
Epic. Mina cups her face in her hands, smiling broadly.
Aw, Mom, that's so sweet.
That's the kind of love story I want. Uncle Hajime's got game. This is awkward. This is a nice love story. We all need someone from another world just to absolutely fall in love with and open a bakery with. I can only hope that my story can be so cute.
Me too.
Mina sighs.
Although I think my ship has sailed since I've got Kosei.
That said, Erlen remains quiet. When She finally speaks, her voice is small.
How did you make the decision to leave Veldin?
I can feel the weight behind her question. In some ways, Aunt Tamiko's story is similar to Erlen's.
It wasn't easy, but there wasn't much left for me there. My parents had both passed away, and my friends had grown into their own lives. Plus, I spent most of my time traveling anyway.
Does that mean Uncle Hajime knows that you're Veldin too?
Of course, dear. I told him as soon as I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him.
Aww.
Mina squeals, then suddenly blinks.
Wait a minute. If Dad knew, then how come you never told me?
I did, honey!
No, you didn't. I think I'd remember if you told me I was Veldin.
We did! Don't you remember when you were a little girl and I'd tell you that you weren't like any of the other kids?
Yeah?
You were special. And one day, when you were ready, you would do things and go places that nobody else here could ever imagine.
Mina is special. Mina pauses and then gasps.
Oh my gosh. That's what you meant by all of that?
Of course, sweetie!
I thought you were just saying all of that. You're special because you're my mom, and you have to tell me that.
Nope, it's because you're Veldin, honey.
Do my parents know? Aunt Tamiko shifts uncomfortably.
Well, you see, when we decided that we needed to tell Hajime's family, it didn't go exactly as planned.
What happens? Aunt Tamiko laughs nervously.
They didn't exactly believe us, and thought we were joking around. Given what we were saying, I can understand why.
Yeah. She turns back to Mina.
That's why we didn't outright tell you that you're Veldin. We wanted you to have a fun childhood, and to feel like you belonged. So, we decided to wait until the time was right to tell you.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, if I hadn't met Erlen, I don't know if I would have believed in Veldin either.
Same here.
But it's official. I'm half Veldin.
The reality seems to finally sink in and she grins.
Oh my gosh! I'm half Veldin!
Erlen sits straighter and smiles warmly.
I'm not surprised. I could always feel that there was something more elevated about you.
Do you think that's why we get along so well? Wait!
He pauses.
Does this mean I should be calling you Princess Erlen?
No, that won't be necessary.
Are you sure, Princess?
Just Erlen will suffice.
Isn't this what you always wanted, Erlen? For someone to recognize your birthright?
No, I wanted you to recognize my birthright.
Yeah, cuz. Show my princess some respect.
Erlen shoots Mina a look, but there's a smile on her face.
Well, honey, I'm relieved that you're taking the news so well.
Amiko.
The front door shuts. A moment later, Uncle Hajime appears.
Amiko, what are you still doing here? I thought you were coming back to help me.
Oh, Hajime, darling! We were just talking about you.
Oh, good things, I hope.
Mina shifts, leaning her body on the arm of the couch.
Dad, guess what?
What?
I'm half Veldin.
Uncle Hajime is clearly startled. He blinks and his mouth opens and closes, but no sound comes out.
Oh, yep, you sure are, kiddo.
He gives Aunt Tamiko a questioning look.
I thought we were going to tell her together when she was ready.
Sorry, darling. The conversation came up sooner than we anticipated.
He smiles apologetically and shrugs.
I can't see that.
Uncle Hajime, does this mean that you knew Erlen was Veldin this whole time too? He pauses and glances at Aunt Tamiko. Then the two of them burst out laughing.
I'm sorry, kiddo. I don't mean to laugh. But a foreign exchange student just randomly shows up at the house with no prior notice, no luggage, and the day before school starts?
I was gonna say, that seems very far-fetched. He laughs again.
Also, if your parents did set up a foreign exchange term, they'd of course tell us about it. Before you ask, no, they don't know about any of this.
Aunt Tamiko giggles.
And Sweden, honey?
It sounds kind of like Veldin. They glance at each other and devolve into more chuckles. When you put it that way, it does sound silly. I thought it was very clever. This makes way more sense. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense that you two knew from the start.
It was a valiant effort anyway.
Thanks, I guess.
Plus, we had to have all the paperwork and credentials already prepared for Erilyn to transfer to your school. One does not simply show up to school and get accepted on the same day.
I'd wondered about that actually. This explains a lot. When their laughter subsides and they finally catch their breath, Aunt Miko stands.
All right, this has been a lovely discussion, but we need to get back to the store.
You know, that's a great point. This has been a lovely episode, but we need to get back to not being here. So, we're gonna, you know, I feel like the season finale, I say season, the series finale will more than likely be next episode. This was a long one. This was a long dong, but we somehow managed to take this whole episode inside of us, and I'm proud of us for that valiant effort. So, do me 4 favors, tune into the next episode, which is gonna probably be the finale. Okay, now do me 4 favors, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, help me find a girlfriend, and bye-bye.